Hi everyone! So we didn't get a chance to go over everything that I wanted to in class today. I was looking over the worksheets and I saw a few things that I felt like I needed to go over with you. So the first one is if we go to the Arithmetic Sequences worksheet that says CUDA Software at the top, these first problems right here, all you want to do is just find out how much we are increasing or decreasing. Remember that arithmetic is either plus or minus, so we're either adding or subtracting. So here we can see that we're going from 35 to 32 to 29 to 26. So here we can see that we're decreasing because as we move through the terms, the numbers are getting smaller or going down. So now our question is, how much is it going down each time? So 35 minus 32 is 3, so we're subtracting 3. 32 minus 29 is 3. And same thing here. So we're going down by 3 each time. Moving on to the next section. This tells us a sub n equals negative 11 plus 7n. Find a sub 34. Although this may look a little scary, notice here the little baby letter right here is n, and here the little baby number is 34. All this is telling you is, here's your equation. Let's find when n is 34. So n equals 34. We can plug that into this equation. So we get negative 11 plus 7 times 34. And then you solve for it. And then you get a sub 34 equals some number. Okay. So now for the last section, your D is whatever you're adding or subtracting the numbers by. So this is saying that our first term in our sequence is 28. Notice this is positive, so that means we're going to add, and we're just going to add to the previous term. So if this starts at 28, we need to add 10. 28 plus 10 is 38. Then we do the same thing. 38 plus 10 is 48. And then again, 58, and then 68. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. So now we're going to move on to the second worksheet, the geometric sequences. Remember, geometric is multiplying and dividing. So for this first question, it asks, determine if the sequence is geometric. If it is, find the common ratio. Your common ratio is whatever you're multiplying by each time. So here we go from negative 1 to positive 6. Well, we know that a negative times a negative would give us a positive, so this has to be negative. And then we know that 1 times 6 would be 6. So negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. Now what would happen if we took the 6 and multiplied it by negative 6? 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. So we know that we have the same common difference, common ratio between each of these. Okay? Moving on to this next section, give the formula for a geometric sequence, find the first 5 terms, and the 8th term. So again, we have this n right here. All this is saying is what is your number that you're plugging in. So over here, I made a table. I have n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's me finding my first 5 terms, and then the 8th term. So what I do here is wherever I see n in this equation, I plug in whatever number is here. So my first number is 1. So I have 3 to the 1 minus 1 equals, well, we know 1 minus 1 is 0. So 3 to the 0 equals 1. That's what my an is. My next one is 2. So 3 to the 2 minus 1 is like saying 3 to the first, which is 3. Same thing with the third. 3 to the 3 minus 1 is the same thing as saying 3 to the second, which is 9. So we get 9, and so on and so forth. We plug in 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 3 to the 7th is 2,187. That's what you're going to do for all of these numbers down here. Okay? Then, going on to this part, we have given the formula for the geometric sequence, find the common ratio, the first 5 terms, and the explicit formula. So just like the last ones, this looks a little scary, but it's not nearly as scary as it looks. So our first term, our A1 right here, says that we're starting at 2. Notice here, this is our multiplier. So we know 2 times 2 is 4, so that gives us our next term. Then we're going to take 4, and we're going to multiply it by 2 to get 8. 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32. So that gives us our first 5 terms. Don't worry about trying to find the explicit formula. All I want is just the first 5 terms. So then we would do the same thing over here. Our first term is negative 3. So I'm going to do negative 3 times negative 3. When we know a negative times a negative is a positive. And 3 times 3 is 9. So we have positive 9. Then I have 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And you continue the pattern until we have 5 total.